Facebook ads pixel structure, balance sheet and P&L connection, and real estate deal review. That's what we're going to be talking about on the first episode of How I Moved the Needle Today, September 18th, 2025. Okay, so this is a new thing I'm doing. Okay, I am just honestly kind of tired of making educational content all the time. I tried to do this like month in the life stuff, but it's too cinematic and it was taking up too much time and it was too distracting. But this I can do. What this is going to be is a little bit of me just every day, probably just talking about two or three things that move the needle. I think it's going to be three. So it's called How I Moved the Needle Today. So I'm aiming for three. There's just a lot of stuff that I'm working on every day that I want to talk about, that I want to share, that I want to document. And this is a great place to do that. So I guess, first of all, if you want to get updates on this, then subscribe to this channel. Okay. I think this is going to be on YouTube and podcast probably only, unless I can get my video guy to cut the vertical, and then we might put it on TikTok. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Just that's a lot of work. I want this to be simple, and I want to be able to make it and post it. So I don't want a lot of editing. There's not going to be any captions probably. I'm going to put these up, and we'll just see what happens. Okay. So before I get there, I got to give you a call to action, right? Because I would love to work with you. If you're a law firm owner, we do bookkeeping and tax strategy for law firm owners. Okay. We're super great at it. I own a law firm as well. And you can go to bigbird.com, bigbirdaaccounting.com if you want to chat. That's my call to action. That's it. Okay. So let's talk about three things. The three how I moved the needle today. There's really three things. The first thing that I did today was I actually finally took a deep dive into my Facebook ads account and tried to figure out how the pixel works and how I can use that to help Facebook help me find more people like you, quite frankly, when I'm doing Facebook ads, help the law firm, and just set that up so the data is actually clean. It's not right now, and it hasn't been for a long time. I've had this Facebook account for so long. The platform has iterated on how the pixel gets used. I've done a bunch of weird stuff, and so I finally got in there and tried to figure it out. And it's relatively straightforward when you break it down into sort of its core concepts. And I'm going to do that for you right now. Basically, and by the way, that when I talk about pixels, it's now called a data set. So I'm not sure why pixels way sexier than data set, but data set probably is a better description of what it actually is. So what you do with this data set is it creates this piece of code that you can put on your website. Okay. And what you want to do is put this basic sort of Facebook code on all of the pages of your website, every single page, new pages, old pages, everything. What happens is when someone visits your website, it kind of pings Facebook that this person has done that. And Facebook can build an audience of those people inside of Facebook that you can then advertise to. Facebook can also use this information to figure out what type of person is visiting your website and sort of try to go out into the world and find those people. All right. So, I'm looking for law firm owners that need bookkeeping. Okay. You are a specific demographic and Facebook knows how to find you. Okay. You all do some very similar things and Facebook can figure that out and then help you find me. Okay. So that's the first thing that you need to do. Okay. It's just the general data set. It will start creating these pools of people that visit your website. You want to have basically a subset of people who book a consultation with you. Okay. So as a law firm owner, wouldn't you love to be able to target people that are actually likely to book a meeting? Okay. I would. That would be great. You can do that. Okay. Once you have the data set created, then you can create an event or events inside of your data set. Okay. The event that I created is called complete registration. Okay. It's like a Facebook data set. So what I say is whenever anyone reaches this URL, I want you to sort of like ping the complete registration event. All right. I want you to build a separate audience of these people. These are the people that I really want you to find. Okay. So I want you to find the first set, but these are those great people. So for my accounting firm, it would be all of you law firm owners that actually book a time to speak with me because you have taken action. There must be something that's going on, and I want more of you, right? And then inside of that, I have different audiences. Okay, so right now I'm really trying to find Dallas law firm owners. Okay, I like Dallas. In Texas, a lot of people need IOTA, trust account reconciliation, and so Dallas has a lot of people, has a lot of law firm owners. So I'm just trying to do some advertising there. So inside of your event, you can do something called a custom conversion, where you can sort of strip out even a more specific type of audience. And so I have done a custom conversion, which is going to be for Dallas law firm owners. Okay, so anybody that hits the the registration page that I have created specifically for Texas, essentially. Okay, so today that's what I worked on. I'm not doing all this coding by myself, by the way. I have just someone that helps me. If you don't, go to Upwork, hire somebody. This is super cheap. It's super easy for people that know how to do it. They can do it in like literally 10 or 15 minutes. They can have your whole website taken care of. But this is what I did today. Not just the instructions to my web developer, but really taking a minute to figure out how all of these things work together, and then also clean up some of the stuff that I had done in the past that was not hurting my website or my sales or anything like that, but it was hurting the data that Facebook was receiving. So I want to make sure Facebook is getting great data. Their algorithm is so off the chain that if you give it good data and give it time, it will find people for you, and you will crush. Okay. So I did this for Big Bird Accounting and for CMS Law for my law firm as well. I did it for both. That was one of the things that moved the needle today, right? Let's see, the next thing that I did was I'm in some of these accounting groups, and I'm not like a classically trained CPA. I'm a business owner, I'm a tax attorney, and I'm in here in the real world trying to work through these things and trying to figure them out. That's what makes us so good. Okay, when our clients talk to us, I come at it from a business perspective. I come at it from a technical perspective as well, but I try to see everything. So sometimes when people say something, then I will have to translate it into my sort of like non CPA brain. Okay, I don't prep tax returns and I don't file tax returns. These are the things that I do not do. So I heard someone say in a Facebook group or somewhere that the balance sheet and the you can't have a clean P&L without having a clean balance sheet. Okay, and I understand the connection between the two, but I was a little skeptical of that statement because I thought to myself, well, you can have a P&L that shows you, how much money you've made and the expenses that you have incurred for the month, and that will give you a clean P&L. What I didn't realize is that what they were talking about and what I would do to have a clean P&L are the same. They just work through the balance sheet instead of the bank statements. Okay. One of the things that we do for our clients is, after we create the P&L, we'll take all of the bank statements, all the credit card statements, and we will reconcile those statements against what's in the P&L. Okay. All that means is we'll be able to see like all of the transactions in a bank account for the month on our P&L, and then we will make sure that that number is the same number that's on the bank statement. Why do we do that? Well, QuickBooks is not perfect. So sometimes they will duplicate transactions. Sometimes they will miss transactions. And so we want to make sure that we don't do that. So we true up what's in QuickBooks with what is on the bank statement. Said another way, we true up what's in QuickBooks with the balance sheet, okay? Because the balance sheet is also going to show you these end of month balances, okay? Credit cards, bank accounts, things like that, right? So I just took some time basically exploring that concept. And anytime you can learn a little bit more nuance, you can learn more terminology, you can learn more how people speak of these things, it's better. Okay, so that was the second thing I did. And then number three, this one's different but fun. I reviewed sort of the prospectus for a real estate deal that Brooke and I are getting into. It's going to be super fun. We're sort of going in. This is a joint venture with some of my friends, and we're going to invest in some real estate. We're going to break it up. We're going to rehab it. We're going to Airbnb it out. Something that I have never done before. I own some real rental properties. We own some rental properties, but nothing like this. So it was really interesting. One of my buddies, who's a co-investor, is really, really good at this stuff. Has a lot of experience at it, and I trust him 100%. He's very thorough. So he basically created this outline of the project timeline of what needs to happen, how the deal's going to work, how the property's going to move, how the financing works, all this kind of stuff. So I read through that. It was fascinating. It was cool. It was interesting, and so I'm really excited about that kind of getting underway. So there's still a lot of things that need to happen for that to come into reality, but we're steps closer for sure. So that was another thing that I looked at. And the reason we're doing that is, it's a tax play, which I have made a video on. So this is short-term real estate loophole, basically. I'll give you the Reader's Digest version right now. Rental real estate, long-term, is passive income. Okay, passive income you cannot deduct from your active income. So like your law firm income, you can't marry the two up. What you want to try to do is turn that rental income into active income. The way you can do that is if you have short-term real estate and you are actively managing it, which means spending more than 150 hours a year on it, and sort of also spending more than anybody else does individually, then you can utilize this short-term rental loophole, and you can convert your rental income from passive to active. And then you can use that to reduce your active income, your law firm income, with accelerated depreciation. Okay, again, there's other videos out there on my channel. Just go find it. So we're doing that. So I think this, all, by the way, is just a side note. When you're talking to your CPA, when you're talking to your tax strategist, your bookkeeper even, if they're not doing the things that they are suggesting to you, then, maybe just take that into consideration, is all I can say. Okay. You want people that are utilizing these strategies so they can help you implement them on your own. Okay. All right. That's it. That's it for today. So how I moved the needle today, episode 1, pretty cool. I'm excited about it. We'll see if anybody actually watches this, but should be fun. So again, if you're a law firm owner, if you're a service-based business, if you're anybody and you really need bookkeeping help, like reach out. We only take kind of a very specific type of client, but I'm happy to chat with you. bigbird.accounting.com is the easiest way to do that. That's it for today. All right. See ya.